What is the most aggressively you have come on to a girl? Anyone else read this as most aggressive way you have come on a girl? For some it might not make a difference. I was drunk. An older woman bought me a blowjob, the drink. The bartender brought it to me and pointed at the woman. I drank it, walked over to her and told her if she was looking to get fucked, grab your coat and let's go. She laughed and grabbed her coat. I'm taking notes. It was amazing. No time wasting. No nonsense. I would say take my number, but I'm a country away. Every single one of these stories is mind-boggling to me. WTF. Lol, exactly. Do not try. Do try. Try and try again, but understand it's a numbers game and majority of the tries will crash and burn, but when they don't. I had just broken up with my ex. I was depressed, pretty drunk and at a bar. This lady in her early 40s, I was 30 at the time, and in really good shape was literally undressing me with her eyeballs. I walked up to her and said take a picture. It'll last longer. I think I was at her house 20 minutes later. Similar story. When I was 25 I was out bar hopping with a buddy. I strike out as usual, so we grab a late night bite to eat. This older lady in her mid 50s at least in the booth next to us is ifking me. Start talking to her. Making small talk. Where do you live? What school did we go to? Etc. I name my school. She says her son went there and I knew him. He actually bullied me on the bus in middle school. Go back to my apartment. Buddy leaves and she gives me an incredible BJ. I came fast and really hard. She even commented on the volume. Walked her to her car and never saw her again. Wow, you actually fucked your bully's mom, haha. I fucked my best friend's mom. At first he wanted to kill me, but then he saw that I opened her up and it allowed her to be happy again. And she's now happily married again to a wonderful man. Sometimes a girl just gotta come to get her mind right. Friend introduced me to this girl at a bar. We didn't exchange more than a hi, then started making out. I still don't know how that worked, lol. My friend introduced me to a girl at a party and I said, hi, I'm name. I'm going to kiss you now. She said, you are not. I said, 3, 2, 1. She kissed me. For a second that sounded like the beginning of how to look down the barrel of a loaded metoo. A few weeks ago, I met a girl at a bar who approached me and we hit it off. Within 10 minutes of meeting her I jokingly said the only way you'll get that out of me is a kiss. And she surprisingly said, okay, and kissed me. The rest of the night went pretty well after that. Still in shock that actually went over that well. I met a girl, Julia, when I was 19. She was the college roommate of a girl in my friend circle, Carrie. Carrie and I had a hot and heavy summer fling months before I met Julia. That fling ended in Carrie's heartbreak. Julia and I immediately hit it off, but due to girl code and the semi-complexity of the situation with Carrie, we could never be. We did however exchange contact information and talk off and on for years. Neither is single when the other is. This goes on and on. At 25 both of us end up single and at the same place. I just broke up with a girl a week beforehand and she just got out of a relationship a few weeks before. She comes to visit Carrie, who is still in my friend circle. We go see my friends who are in a band. We hang out together all night. Inseparable. Show ends. My friend, Brent, the guitarist, takes an interest in Julia. I keep interjecting. However, have an insecurity about the situation as I feel Brent is way cooler than me as he is the guitarist of the band we just saw. Clearly she'd like him more. He keeps pulling her away from me, although she keeps looking to me. She's standing with him. Time to leave. Time to go to the after party. I watch Brent say Julia should ride with him as he takes her arm and starts to walk across the parking lot with her. She looks back at me. I had pined for this girl for 6 years. We were always two ships passing in the night. We talked for years. So many late nights of exchanging war stories and learning about how each other ticked. This was the first opportunity for us both. If she got in that car, that opportunity was gone. If she kissed Brent it would be over. They'd be a flash in the pan and I'd lose Julia forever. I knew this. It was my only chance. Now or never. I quickly walked across the parking lot up to them as she was looking back to me. I reached them and put my arm around Julia's waist and pulled her close. She pulled her arm free from Brent's grip and threw them both around me, and I kissed her. Right then and there. Right in front of everyone. When we pulled apart, one said she'll ride with me. And that's the story of the first time I kissed my wife. This year is our 15-year anniversary. Poor Brent. He never stood a chance. I was at a house party, sitting on a dining room chair bsing with whoever was around. She came into the room looking so very cute and complained that all the chairs were taken. I scooted my chair out a bit to face her and patted my lap. She accepted. We had a good time. You definitely got hard, right? Just went to Vegas last year. At a club, me and this girl see each other and just start dancing. Like 5 seconds into it, we just start making out. Went back to her room. Which club? Asking for a friend. Club. 2 sets of table with 3 girls each. I walk up in between the tables. Turn to the left, introduce myself, and ask if I can join them for a drink. They reject me hardcore. I turn to the right, introduce myself, and ask if I can join them for a drink. They laugh and go, "Didn't you get rejected?" And I said, "Not by you." And one girl smirks and tells me to sit. We get to talking. I invite my buddy over. I'm recognizing we got a problem. We got 3 girls, 2 guys. I ask, "Is your girl also single?" She goes, "Yeah." I go tell her to pick a guy and I'll go get him for her. I'll be honest. That was me just being on cloud F9. I had no idea how this was going to play out. She points to a dude. He's with a group of other guys. She goes, "Him." I go, "Alright." He walk up to this guy, introduce myself and go, "I'm going. Ask for a weird favor and I either need you to be all in or all out." I go, "I'm at the table. 3 girls, 2 guys. I need a 3rd guy and she wants you." I point out the girl I'm talking to. Turns out his girl literally dumped him the day before and he's ready for a rebound. So I bring over the guy and he starts talking to the girl. I buy the girl I'm talking to a drink. I then go on a little story of how I don't own a TV, and then I say, "So why don't you come to my place and we watch TV?" And she goes, "But didn't you say you don't own a TV?" And I said, "Does it matter? Are you coming or not?" And she goes, "Gee, we're fucked." Ended up turning into a 6-month relationship. She later admitted my boldness turned her on. She also said she was shocked I was able to hook her friend up that easily. To be honest, I'm glad that guy got dumped the night before. What happened after 6 months? Party at my house. Noted a woman IF me. We had some banter, and I told her she should stay the night. She did. Come to think of it, this worked twice. Same house, different parties, different women. The second one wasn't so obvious, but we'd hung out a few times previous as friends. Some women really appreciate the assertiveness. When I was about 20, I'd gone to a summer camp with some friends. Excellent few days camping in the south of England in July. On the penultimate night there was a party in a large tent they'd raised in one of the fields. Mr. Brightside was on. I caught the eye of one woman a few meters away. She raised her eyebrow at me momentarily and smiled. The next second we were kissing, and didn't stop for God knows how long. Really lovely night. Did you wonder to yourself, how did it end up like this? But was it only a kiss? We said hi, and the rest of the conversation went like this. "I noticed you the moment you walked into the room." "Oh yeah. Why's that?" "You want the Disney answer or the real answer?" "The real answer. Your legs are unreal." We went upstairs an hour later. Edit. Used on me, but at a Halloween party. After like 20 seconds of talking, someone dressed up as Tinkerbell asked if I wanted to make out. In the middle of the party, I said yes cause I was 19. I remember hearing someone say, "I'm just gonna get around this real quick" on their way upstairs. My wife. Met her a couple years before my GF of 7 years left me for my best friend. She was the sister of a coworker I glimpsed at a house party my then GF said we should go to because we never went to parties. Who is that goddess? I asked my coworker. A couple years later, I was run out of my own apartment and living on a couch in a friend's apartment. Took me 6 months to get over it and sober up. Asked my coworker when the next house party was. "Will you sister be there?" "Yes." "Why?" "I have the fattest crush on her. She's seeing someone." "That's okay. You are not that suave." I just want to talk to her to see if she's cool. Fine. This will be hilarious. I introduced myself. She said she remembered me. Like that I cut my long hair. Do you want to play pool? I love pool. These tunes are lame. Let's listen to some Tool. I love Tool. Looks like the party is running low. Want to help me get some booze? I love booze. Was that your man in the kitchen? Seems like a good sort. Yeah. We've been together only a month. I dunno. A month you say. Later on, her guy cussed her out for spending so much time with me and left her at the party to find her own ride. Guess who drove her home? Didn't do anything. Just spent the whole night talking. She broke up with him the next day and we've been together 15 years. At a party, one girl kept aggressively teasing me. It was basically grade school style being mean to someone you like. She was making fun of me in front of her friends. I just stopped and said, "You can say whatever you want about me, but you and I both know I could have you naked by the end of the night if I wanted to." She got really quiet. Then 20 minutes later, she got naked. What happened in between the 20-minute mark? We just kind of drifted off to another room together. This makes me cringe to think of, but I'll share it. Went on a date. Thought she was hot. Conversation seemed good. Was time to go. I asked to walk her to her car. She said it's okay. Dumb F young me didn't realize that meant no. Not interested. So I insisted. We get to her car. I go to kiss her. She pulls back. I ask what? Did you think I'd be afraid to go for it? Then I go to kiss her again. She pulls back. At this point, I realize exactly what kind of asshole I'd just been. Excuse myself. Leave. Never contact her again. Swear to myself to learn to read people better. Have never ever done anything like that again. Yikes. I was at a bar and sitting on a stool. I asked a woman standing near me if her dress was real leather. She stepped between my knees and told me to feel it. I grabbed her and we started kissing. Well, was it real leather or what? No. At a nightclub, 19 years old, just off the dance floor was some couches. I was sitting on a couch and noticed a super attractive girl on a couch directly opposite who was maybe 25 to 28 years old and with a guy who seemed slightly older than her and not in her league at all. This guy goes to the bathroom and the girl and I eventually make eye contact. I gestured with my hands you me. Then nod my head back like, wanna get out ta here? She looked towards the bathroom then headed towards me and just said let's go. Smoothest test that's ever happened to me. And that I could never pull off if I was sober. Plus at 19 hooking up with a girl in her mid-20s seemed like a massive accomplishment lol. Yup, some of the SU getaway probably helped she was feeling it too. One time I unambiguously asked a girl out on a date. Holy yes I know right. College days. At Parroties I regularly organized the drinking card games. I got a round of kings going. Friend of a friend brought a new girl. Assumed it was his girlfriend. She was very pretty. Black hair and blue eyes. Exactly the type of girl I liked. I kept the game moving and yes ego talking here. But think of Van Wilder keeping up the life of the party. Had a few interactions with her over the game and made her laugh and she gave me the eyes. You know what I'm talking about. After the game the group went outside to smoke. Mildly flirted a bit, but kept it light-hearted as she was with someone. Went back inside and we were across the party, but kept catching eyes. Time passes. Her crew is packing up to go, says goodbye and walks out the door. The friend who brought her and the guy is saying goodbye to the group I'm in and tells me that she's into me and I should have asked her for her number. Wait, isn't that other dude her boyfriend? Nope. I break away and grab a pen and paper from the counter as I walk right out the front of the house to the street where she's about to get into the back seat. She sees me from across the yard, stands in front of the door all cute and keeps eyes on me as I walk right up to her and plant a passionate kiss on her. She kisses back. I pull the pen and paper out of my back pocket and say write down your number. I'll give you a call tomorrow and we can get together. She does. We were together that whole summer. Once was on a week before Valentine's date with a girl. It was going quite swimmingly and as we were walking back to her ferry she suggested we stop off at this really nice place for one last cognac. As we were waiting for her ferry she was talking nervously and then asked me how I was planning on getting home. So I looked her dead in the eye and said, well, I'm still waiting for you to ask me to get on that ferry with you. Her eyebrows shot up, then relaxed back into place. She held my eye contact for a very solid 8 seconds, then said, okay, apostrophe. I said, hey, wanna go on a date? She's my wife now. One time in high school I randomly saw this kid Darren that I hadn't seen in years. We had been friends in 7th grade. He was this little dude, literally little, like 4 feet 10, that completely encapsulated the term hood rat. He immediately asked me for money and threatened to rob me. He was half serious, but I just laughed, like you're not robbing me Darren. Good to see you too, and he just kind of changed lanes, said what's up and did the double dap handshake kids did in my HS circa 2003. He asked about some of our old friends and claimed he had been locked up. He was lying. I knew he had been in alternative school then went to live with an aunt on his when his grandma had passed. Then he sees a girl walking and straight up says, yo, Donja, what's good with dim ass cheeks? I had never been so embarrassed to be standing next to someone. She turned around like she was about to kill him. But then a moment later I had never been so shocked as when she smiled and started flirting back with him and they walked off together. Just full on snogging with some girl at the bar right before close after merely exchanging glances lol. You wanna play Fallout 4? I can bring my TVN's box one over. I gushed too much and backseated her cause I was head over heels for her. Didn't pan out. /U0001F972. Went to a university reunion 30 years after I had left. Met an old Fletcher friend. Got very drunk and asked her why we never had sex. Would never say that under normal circumstances. She said I don't know. Let's go for it. 7 years later we are still together and going to get married next month. I think I actually said I can't talk to you and then after an egregious awkward silence, kissed her. True though, I just had no words. What the hell was I gonna say? Told girl that I want to have sex with her about 2 hours after we meet first time and then we just did that.